On this episode of SAMP&CHANCE Boxing, guys, we are going to go back into the Conner Benn fight that happened on Saturday. We're going to take a look at Teofimo Lopez. We're going to look at Keyshawn Davis's fight coming up tonight. Also, guys, we are going to take a look back at the one great Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, a loss both in the acting world, but you know what? More so in the boxing world, in my opinion. Also, we're going to take a look back at the Prince's announcement regarding the heavyweight division. All this and so much more on this episode of SAMP&CHANCE Boxing. So strap in and thank you for letting us into your ears. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of SAMP&CHANCE Boxing. Happy Thursday to all of you out there. It is fight night. We have Teofimo Lopez coming up later on this evening. We have Keyshawn Davis coming back later on this evening. But before all of that, Mr. Chance Michaels, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Can't complain, man. It's Thursday. The weekend is quickly passed upon us. It's Super Bowl weekend as well. A lot of stuff happening in Vegas. But before we kick off what's going on in Vegas this weekend, let's take a look back at what happened in Vegas. Conner Benn against Dobson. Your thoughts on the fight?
Boring. Honestly, Dobson was a game fighter. I mean, Ben did what he should have did. I predicted he'd win by decision, which he did. He looked good. Dobson had a few rounds. He's tough. He has a good chin. When he let his hands go, Dobson actually pushed him back a little bit. He made Conner Benn think twice, but I mean, Ben is just quicker, more skilled. And when Ben started working that jab, he took over the fight. And Dobson he's a tough component. He wouldn't go down. He wouldn't stay out. He was a game fighter. But Ben did what he's supposed to do. This was a fight to get him to the next level, get him some bigger fights. Eddie Hearn was calling out Chris Eubank Jr. after and all these things, but he's still not allowed to fight in England. Conner Benn is, because he failed those 2 drug tests. So it was an okay fight, is what it was. It was a free fight, and Ben did what he's supposed to do. And I don't think he looked amazing, but he looked all right. And Dobson hasn't fought in a year, so he's been out of the ring a lot. So I think a little bit of ring rust played into Conner Benn's factor too, the winning.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Conner Benn did have a fight under his belt coming into this one. So, I mean, ring rust should not be an issue for him.
No, for Dobson.
No, for Dobson, yes, but not for Conner Benn.
Yeah, not for Ben, no.
Which should have made this even a quicker fight, so to speak. He came out thinking he was going to use his power, and obviously that didn't translate. He had to change his game plan. He thought he was going to get him out of there in the first 2.
Yeah, he did think that.
Dobson really held his ground and really took some of those punches. Now, I'm not saying this plays a role in it, but did he lose power? You know what I mean? He didn't look as powerful as everyone thought he was in the past. So is that
he's not the juice anymore?
But that's what I'm saying. You cut right to the ketchup there, man.
Yeah.
Did that really play a factor in all
Absolutely
of it?
It is. Steroids adds power because it gives you the energy to lift more, train harder, and that's what it does, and it builds the muscles. So yeah, he's not on the stuff anymore. And don't give me this crap. He didn't know what he's doing. He failed twice. Come on. He cheated. He got caught at the end of the day.
And the Eubank fight, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I listened to Eubank's father earlier in the week talking about it. And the one thing that he said is like, it just makes no sense. Like, my son's walking around it at 185. Like, for him to drop the weight that
That's a lot of weight.
You're asking him to risk his health in so many different ways. Just not.
Oh yeah, so that's 40 pounds. Right? A lot of weight, man.
So it doesn't make any sense to him. So I think the best thing for the Conner Benn camp to do is move on from that and look to the future, because I mean, this guy still has a lot to prove. Most pundits, most analysts that are credible and that I will listen to all say the same thing. He didn't look good.
He didn't. He won, but he didn't look great doing so. He should look much better. Dobson was a gimme fight. Finish this guy off in 8 rounds, and we'll get you back into stardom. And Dobson wouldn't go away.
And he didn't look good at all, right? Like, I mean, he looked okay. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he looked good, but one could also maybe he was trying to bank rounds because he's been so inactive and whatnot. I mean, you can lace it any way you want, but the reality is, right now, in my opinion, the top of those divisions will destroy him. if this is what he's
He
going to
fought
look
like he fought
right.
against Dobson. He's not going to win.
Right. So he needs to kind of figure that out, and he has to figure out where his power went. Because like you said, if it's the juice, then that's a clear indication that, that was his main proponent in terms of his success, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate, right? You know what I mean? But let's see where it goes. All right, brother man. Why don't we move on to what's happening tonight? We have Teofimo Lopez defending his WBO welterweight title against one Jermaine Ortiz. Now, before I ask you, I will say this about this fight. My number one question is which Tio will show up. Tio, in my opinion, has the better skill, has the better defense. He basically does everything a little bit better than Jermaine does, in my opinion. The only difference here is where is Tio's head and what mental state will he come in? Because the Tio that fought against Lomachenko, that was amazing. The Tio that fought Kambosos, granted, injuries were involved and he wasn't well. He looked like complete shit. Against Sandor Martin, he looked
Yeah.
above average. Uh, but then again, against Josh Taylor in his last fight, he looked like Tio of old. So my question is Tio show up based on the guy he's fighting, or is this a mental game that he's playing within his own head?
Well, you never know with Tio, right? Because he does suffer from mental illness. I'm not trying to pick on the guy, but so you don't know what you're getting with the guy. I'm assuming that because of Super Bowl weekend, he's fighting in Mandalay Bay. Radio Row is at Mandalay Bay. Be a lot of Jim Rome's there, Mad Dog. You name a guy in radio, they're all there. So he's got all the celebrities are there. People are in for the Super Bowl. I think he wants to put on a show, right? Random celebrity's gonna go watch his fight. It's only $100 to get, $50. So you're gonna get a packed house in there. Jermaine Ortiz is, he's 10 years older, 9 or 10 years older than Ortiz. Ortiz is Lopez. Lopez is everything better. He's quicker, he's stronger, he throws punches in better angles, he's got a better jab, better footwork. Ortiz is a game fighter. I mean, he's been there with Lomachenko. They both have. He's no slouch, but I see Teofimo. He's going to look pretty good. However, Ortiz is a tough fighter. Teo will win this, but it's going to go a decision. I don't think he's going to finish off Ortiz, but Lopez is going to come out and I think maybe look as good as you ever seen him, just because the Super Bowl is there, everybody's there, all the stars, all the celebrities. This is a big showcase for him. That's why Bob Arum does this fight before the Super Bowl to get the pump, get the buzz, and it should be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it, but Teo be a decision. He's just a more skilled, younger, and he wants to be a star, and I think he's finally going to put it together.
Yeah,
There's no guarantees with him. You never know what he's going to do, but I got a feeling because of the Super Bowl factor and it's at Mandalay Bay that he's going to propel him to push harder.
yeah,
and he's been training way hard. He's been in the gym every day. So before, he wouldn't always be in the gym. He'd be lazy. He thought he was so good, like he was going to knock out Kambosos first round. Wasn't training as hard. Look what happened. So I think now he's got a big wake up call, and I think he's going to come fired.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. I think, and the reason I think it's going to go to decision is because it's how this fight's going to play out, right? If Theo is going to try to go after those power shots and try to find that punch, this fight's going to go long. If he uses his mind and tries to approach it from a different angle where he just chips away, he could probably get the knockout if he wanted to, say in the 9th, 10th round. But I have a feeling he's going to try to come out with that power punch, look for that one punch, try to set up that one punch, to kind of get it done, but it's not going to work for him. I mean, Jermaine is game fighter. He knows what he's doing in there as
Yeah,
well.
he's been there with some of the best.
So it's no slouch. This is not an easy fight by any stretch of
No,
anyone.
but it's a winnable fight. A fight you should win. The guy Jermaine's like 35, 36.
Get
Teo's
it.
26. This is a fight you need to win.
You get it. I get it. But again, it's not so much the skill that he brings to the ring. It's what mind he brings to the ring that's going to make the difference in this for me. So we both are in agreement. We think he's going to probably
Teo will be a decision,
right?
but it should be a good fight.
What's Vegas saying? Do you have those?
Yeah. Teo is a 7-1 favorite. Okay. So they're saying it should be an easy night in the park for him. But you never know. Sometimes the long shot dogs come in, right? And Ortiz has got nothing to lose. So, maybe he'll be a little more aggressive than we expect and, could catch him slipping. Because like you said, you never know what Teo starts getting frustrated in there. We've seen him in the corner saying to his trainers, do I still have it? So he can get rattled in there.
We can
get him off his game.
The question is, do we see?
And that's what Kambosos did. He got in his head talking crap, and beat him. So Teo can be mentally fragile at times.
But Teo was really sick at the time too when he fought Kambosos, which we didn't know, right? We didn't know any of that. He didn't come out with that till much later on. I guess ultimately at the end of the day, are we gonna get Josh Taylor Teo or are we gonna get Sandro Martin Teo?
We're going to
That's
see Josh Taylor Keel.
pardon?
I think we're going to see the Josh Taylor
Let's
version
see.
of Keel.
Let's see. I wish nothing for the best for this kid.
Yeah,
I've seen him in Vegas a couple times. So yeah, I'm kind of backing him anyways, right? Like that's the
I
fight.
am too. Yeah.
All right, let us go to the co-main event. This is also a pretty good matchup here. Could be a main event on most other cards. Jermaine or sorry, Keyshawn Davis versus uh, Pedraza.
Got it.
Good fight, man. I'm looking forward to this one. Keyshawn coming off a no decision. He'd won initially, but then got tested positive for marijuana, which is so unheard of anymore these days. But I guess Texas is still
Yeah, but he knows the rules. He knows marijuana is illegal in Texas, and he's still smoking it. So that's lack of discipline.
yeah,
And people don't realize about Keyshawn Davis. He's quite the story. He suffers from severe mental health. He's been in the psych ward. He's talked about how he smokes weed to calm himself down, but how weed is bad for you. He's given up the weed now. He's turned to faith. Weed made him lazy. Everybody knows weed makes you lazy. So you can still be a good athlete, but it does slow you down. That's proven. So he's given up the weed. He's found his faith. He's training hard. He is 9-0. He's a great prospect. He's young. And he in the ring, he's very angry. So he's got that killer instinct. He wants to finish you. He wants to hurt you. He's
yeah,
athletic. He's agile. He's a huge favorite in this fight. Perdoza has been in there. There's one common theme through this whole card is Teo, Ortiz, and Perdoza. They've all fought Lomachenko. And Perdoza's also lost to Tank Davis. So he's been there with some game fighters. But Keyshawn is just too young, too fast, too strong, too angry. He wants it. He's pissed off about that no contest. So I can see him. I think he's going to finish him off with inside 6 rounds.
interesting. Uh, Pedraza would probably say differently. Think he has more of the opinion that look,
Perdoza's been there with better fighters. He's been with Lomachenko
that's
and
what he's saying.
Tank Davis, right?
Okay. This is probably the first big fight. Like this is the first real test for
It
Keyshawn,
is.
right?
It is.
You can't take anything away from Pedraza because I mean, at the end of the day, that guy has been in there with some straight killers. He is a former world champion himself.
Yeah, he's no
He's
joke.
on the back foot a little bit, but you can't take anything away from in-ring experience and ability. And like I said, this is Keyshawn's to lose, but I will not be surprised if Jose can't pull it out himself either, though. That's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, Keyshawn, man, I think he can end this in about 8 rounds. I won't go as far as 6. I think it'll take him a little while to kind of figure it out. But this guy hasn't fought in over a year either, though.
That's the thing. Ring rust again.
Right?
Here we go again, right?
Literally, February 2023 was his last
Yeah,
fight.
1 year.
Right. So, and he's got limited fights under his belt. I mean, reality, including the no contest, he's only fought 10 times, right? So, this is an
He's
opportunity.
definitely an up and coming prospect. He's got all the tools.
Hey, man, he's an up and coming
If he
prospect.
can keep it together mentally.
This guy, but he has to kind of overcome this
Like
test.
his story is like he was doing self harm and everything. Like he's had a lot of mental health, and so hopefully he's got that on track, and he's got a great story because he can show you can be down and out in the hospital and all these all these medications, and then he's rising up to be potentially a future world champion. So I'm pulling for him. I hope he wins.
Yeah,
He's a young guy still, and his story is pretty inspirational. So we'll see what he can do. But I got him in under 6 rounds, but getting him out of there.
fair enough, man. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that completely. All right, let us move on now. So this Saturday we had the press conference, well, the media call. We had Prince Turkey. He was with Tyson Fury and Frank Warren, and then you had Usyk and team with Ariel Helwani. This fight has now moved to May the 18th after Tyson suffered that cut in sparring, same eye that Otto Wallin cut open. So, that's something there, man. Exact same spot, exact same looking cut. This fight is now being rescheduled to May the 18th. It's going to take place in Saudi Arabia. Prince is not probably happy about it, so he's kind of put some kind of restrictions on here. Like if either guy jumps out of it now, they're going to have to pay $10 million out of their own pocket.
No matter what the circumstance is.
No
so I
matter
like
what the
that.
circumstance, they have to pay $10 million out of their own pocket to the other guy, which is cool. I like that. This
Great,
Prince,
I love it. That should always be like. I
this
get that that cut's unfortunate. Maybe he was sparring too hard, but man, if you look at Fury when he fought Nagano, now he's lost a lot of weight. He's never going to be a muscle guy. He looks a lot more in shape.
oh,
He's
you
taking
look
this
at
serious.
you saw that picture too, right?
Yeah, he
What
looks
he looks
good.
like Nagano and what he looks like for Usyk is night and day.
Dude, he's going to destroy Usyk. And I hate to say this, I get it. Technically, Usyk's a better boxer, but when you're facing that power and he's pissed off while barely being Nagano, I would not want to be Usyk that night.
Look
I'll
at
tell
his
you.
body. His body tells you alone like this guy's coming in for blood,
Oh
which
yeah,
kind of makes me think that that Joshua fight's going to be a cakewalk because Joshua is going to go in there with the mentality that Fury should have had. Now,
yeah,
speaking of those guys, the Prince also announced that the winner, if Nagano wins, he didn't say Joshua. If Nagano wins against Joshua, he gets the winner of Fury Usyk. Do you agree with that, or do you think that's just how can a guy with a 1-1 record at that point challenge for the undisputed? I get it. It's
it's all
money.
about the money, my
It's
man.
all about the money, but it kind of that's a shitty deal, man, in my opinion.
It
Personally.
sucks for other guys, but at the end of the day, I get His Excellency is doing that because at the end of the day, he wants Fury and Nagano rematch, all the hype for that, right? And
I
Nagano's
get
a
it.
big draw. He's got UFC fans coming to watch it. So is
I
it
get it.
right? No. Is it business sense? Hell yeah. So I
Oh,
have
for
no
sure.
problem with that. If you
But
look at
based on
it,
that, I am now fully. I got my feet planted for Joshua to win. Just to be fair to the other boxers, I just you know what I mean. That's just where my
I'm
mind's at.
actually going for Nagano in that fight because I kind of think Joshua, he kind of ducks around a lot. He makes excuses and he loses a lot of the big fights he should win. So you know what? I hope Nagano puts him in the second row because I want to see Nagano Fury again. Right? I don't mind Joshua; he's a good fighter, but I don't care either way. I'm going to cheer for Nagano on this one.
Fair play, fair
But
play.
Joshua is the favorite; he should win the fight. But I
That's
couldn't.
what I'm saying.
I'll tell you right now: if Nagano hits Joshua like he hit Fury, Joshua ain't getting up. He won't come up like Fury did. Well, he's got to be
Well,
really careful in there.
the one thing Joshua has, he has film to work off of now, which Fury
Yeah,
did.
that's true. That's
Okay,
true.
he has the film to work off, but shame on Fury. Shame on Tyson
Yeah, he
Fury
barely pulled it off.
for even letting it get to the point where we're at this point right now. This would not have been happening. And I'm only saying shame on him because look at how great he looks right now. He's never going to be, ripped
No,
and
it's not
shredded.
gonna look like Anthony Joshua. No.
But the way he looks right now compared to what he looked like, you knew he didn't train.
Yeah.
He lied. He lied. He lied. He
Oh
lied.
yeah.
Right.
He's ready now though.
Prince also announced for June the 1st, Bivol against Beterbiev for the undisputed 175. Finally, that's going to happen. It's happening in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
He keeps making the fights, man. And here we go. We got another great fight that's potentially coming. Now, the one thing I really thought was really interesting, Filipovich, the number one contender for the
Yep.
IBF, the piece him, he's offering him anybody he wants to fight. He's put up 6, 7 names for him. Who do you think the best guy that he listed off of that it would be the best guy there?
I didn't see what he put up for his list. He
He
put
put
up
he put Jared Anderson. He put up
maybe. Did he put Ruiz up there?
he put Ruiz. No, I don't think he put Ruiz up there.
I didn't see his list.
There's a few other guys up there, but Frank, what's his name? Frank Sanchez. He put him up there. He put Jared Anderson up there. He put Zhang up there. There's a few other guys up there, but I mean, he's basically given him his pick of a fight.
That's
Going,
cool. I like that.
yeah,
See what he picks.
so that should be interesting as well. Now, I don't know if that's going to be on the March return card or is this for the Tyson card? I'm not sure.
They haven't said yet, I don't believe, but we'll see.
So we'll see how that all plays out. Also, before we get on to the next topic, breaking news: John Ryder has retired after losing last fight here. Um, Good call on his part, man. That guy
Yeah,
just
he's done.
made
Made good money.
good money. So thank you, John Ryder, for all that you've done for boxing. Thank you for some of the great fights, and all the best to you, brother. And hope we see you in a corner as a trainer, or you find your place in this world of boxing. But John Ryder officially retired. Do you ever say anyone's officially retired? But I think this one's real.
At this age in his body, yeah, he's done.
All right. So guys, you notice we don't have the clock. We were having some technical issues, so we're just kind of doing this old school style. So I apologize for that. But let's move on to the next topic. Last but not least, a sad day in boxing, in Hollywood, and in the world in general. We lost Action Jackson. Mr. Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers has passed away. Um, it's ironic because in our last top five list, we talked about top five movies, and I said that Rocky series. And
Mhm.
man, I went back and I watched Rocky 3 again, and the role that he played in that was just phenomenal. I mean, the motivation, like that movie is just you could just cut it up for motivational speeches, man. There is no tomorrow. There is
Yeah,
no, and all of it's right. All of it, none of it is wrong. If there's any if there's any movie series that makes you want to train and go for a run afterwards, is that Rocky series, man.
yeah,
It's on Apollo Creed, man.
yeah. He, like Stallone said it best. He helped build the brand. Without him, the Rocky wouldn't have been as good. Wouldn't have been successful. He picked the right guy for the role. They were good friends, and he also had a couple other major roles too. That's what he's most known for, the four Rocky films. But he was in Happy Gilmore, played a big role. Chubbs Patterson, Predator with Jesse Ventura, huge role in that. So he had some big roles. Obviously, he's always known as Apollo Creed, the original. Great body, great shape, great guy, and rest in peace.
Action Jackson, man.
Yep, amazing.
Right? I mean, he did you do Blade Runner?
Huh?
Was he in
I
Blade?
don't watch Blade Runner. I don't watch that many movies, but I know for sure Predator and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. But he did a bunch of other stuff as well. But I mean, Rocky will
Those are
always
his notable roles. Yeah.
that will always be his thing, and but I really feel like he cemented himself like Rocky 1 and 2. Yeah, it was what it was. They were great, but it was Rocky 3 that really solidified
Yeah.
and put the character of Apollo Creed in at that highest level.
Yep.
Um, so rest in peace, Mr. Weathers. Thank you for all the good times. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
the movies, and thank you technology for allowing us to be able to watch you whenever we want to. Uh,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for everything you've done. Rest in peace, my friend, and
Mm-hmm.
may you officially be free of anything that ails you and hurts you, and you're in a good place, and you're with everyone that you want to be, and the afterlife is what you thought it would be. So,
Yep. Rest in
brother,
peace. Great actor.
absolutely. All right, brother man. This day in boxing history, Canadian history, do we have anything?
We got something for boxing history. This is Jack Dempsey versus George Carpenter from 1921. The reason why I bring this up, it was the first $1 million gate. They made a special stadium for this in New Jersey. 91,000 people it held, sold it out. Also, the reason I bring this up, the first fight ever to be on the first radio broadcast. Listen in your car, let's do it at home. The first fight ever under the custom built arena.
Wow.
1921, 91,000 people in New Jersey. Jack Dempsey, George Carpenter, and this is not. There's nothing this week in Canadian boxing history, but I'm going to bring up a Canadian legend that doesn't get talked about enough. Jack Delaney. He was born in 1900, died in 1948. He was a world light heavyweight boxing champion. He was a contender for the heavyweight crown. He never won it, but he's a top 10 Canadian fighter of all time. Jack Delaney. Got to bring him up so people can check out some of his fights. He only lived to 48 years old, but he won the light heavyweight belt. Tried to get heavyweight, couldn't do it, but still an all-time Canadian legend.
Crazy.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. All right, I tell you what, why don't we wrap this puppy up
Yep.
here? So we have Teofimo coming up later on this evening. Keyshawn Johnson in the chief support role for this card tonight on ESPN. I believe it's a free fight for everybody,
Yep.
so there's no
It's free.
to watch it. So get on it. Super Bowl this weekend as well. So guys, there's a lot going on. WWE press conference probably happening as we release this episode. So Tuesday we'll have more information on what's going on with this, that, and the other. Wow, crazy weekend in Vegas, man.
The press conference won't be much. It just did a talk to pump it up. They're not going to give us any information about the
But so it's happening, right? I mean, it's
I
all
don't blame it. It's in Vegas. You got to be there. So I don't blame them for that.
so Vegas, once again, the place to be this weekend. You got Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
You see that 2.5 million guest suite that's been floating around that they're showing people.
I haven't seen that yet. No.
So it's like it's for 20 people. 2.5 million for one of those kind of suites.
Wow.
You get food, you get this and that, 2 free parking passes. At the end of the day, it works out to like 125,000 per person.
For some of these rich celebrities and businessmen, that's nothing for them. That's insane, though. That's crazy.
I thought the food would be better, but I mean, for what they showed, it looks okay, I guess. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. What do you expect for $2.5 million food? I don't know. But
yeah, hard to say.
I mean, guys, have a great hey, quick, your prediction for the Super Bowl.
I hate to say it, man, but I think the Chiefs. Although I'm a Seahawks fan, I don't want the 49ers to win. I only do because I don't want to see Mahomes get it again. But I think Chiefs will pull it out.
I'm going for the Chiefs, and I don't hate to say it. The reason I say that is because San Francisco cannot win another Super Bowl because if you see behind me, I got that Steelers luchador mask.
Mm-hmm.
Now only the Patriots and the Steelers are tied with 6. If these guys in San Francisco win on Sunday, then it's a 3-way tie at the top.
I know they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't
It should
want.
be a fun game.
Yeah, and I'd rather see, to be completely honest, I'd rather see Kansas City win anyways. If nothing was at stake for me, I'd still go KC.
Yeah,
But
looking forward to it.
I hope KC wins, and I think for them to win, they're gonna have to come out really fast and get as much as they can, because that Purdy starts slow, I feel.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, they're going to give him the ball a lot. They're going to feed him. He's probably going to get a couple TDs.
Well, let's see how it plays out, man. That's
Yep.
Sunday. Tonight we got boxing, and then we got stuff in between. So on that note, I am Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels.
The words of the great AC/DC. Those that download, like, and subscribe, salute you.
We do salute you, and guys, it's the weekend, which means, you know what? Go out, have fun, do your thing. Super Bowl Sunday, party, drink it up, but remember to always have a safe way home. We say this because there's people who love you and who care about you, and most importantly, we just want you to come back on Tuesday to listen to the wrestling show. So on that note, everyone, please be safe. God bless you all. Samp and Chance are out.